My name is Sullivan Kolb, this is Laurel, and this is Sammy, and this is all the information that we have on the Ana Garcia case to date.
Ana Garcia is a resident. She was found at 10:15 a.m. in the Gentry Science Lab, where she worked partially. She's also 20 years old, and the day before was seen having lunch with Eric Piedmont, as well as participating in soccer practice, and was also at the lab helping Dr. Elsie Opal.
She was found dead at the Gentry Life Science Building on August 16th, 2021. There was papers and books on the table in front of her, as well as her iPhone. There was blood on the table and on the floor. She had blowfly eggs in her mouth. There were strands of hair on her shirts, and there was a note saying "see you later" in her back pocket, as well as an overturned flask on the floor.
As Sullivan said, there was a note found in her back pocket and glassware on the ground. With fingerprint analysis, we found that the fingerprints found on the note were from Eric Piedmont, and the fingerprints on the glassware were Ana Garcia. Our digital evidence showed that when police were interviewing Eric Piedmont, they were trying to get into Ana Garcia's phone, and he knew the password. They found on our social media that at 11 p.m. she was at the lab and almost done, and by 11:38 p.m. she had still not left. And then throughout her day before that, they found that she had met with Dr. Opal at 10 a.m., prepped the lab, left the lab, had a date with Eric for about noon, soccer practice, where she had hit her head, and she complained about that all day throughout on social media. She studied with Dominique Hall, and then had a text with Sam. And then later that night, she texted Dominique Hall from 2:42 to 2 p.m., and texted Sam Green from 4:53 to 5:08 p.m. Both were conversations where both parties were talking back and forth. And then text from Eric at 11:04 a.m., which was again a conversation with both parties who were throwing back and forth. And then at 6:20 to 9:05 a.m., they were texts from Eric and the reply from Ana.
We also found blood evidence both on the table and the floor, but the unfortunate thing is that it was only Ana's blood, so we could not conclude that there was a killer.
We have 5 people of interest at the moment, including Eric Piedmont, Dominique Hall, Taylor Diaz, Sam Green, and Dr. Elsie Opal. Eric Piedmont, as explained before, is Ana's boyfriend. They were seen having an argument, however, have seemed to be made up. He's 20 years old. 19-year-old Dominique Hall is one of Ana's classmates and seemed to be jealous about Ana getting the scholarship over her. Taylor Diaz is the man who found found Ana's body and was a friend of her. Dr. Elsie Opal had lied about writing her a recommendation letter, and then that was concluded to be incorrect by a lie detector test. Sam Green was one of her teammates and was seen arguing with her after a game when they lost, and then also had a very impressive text message conversation when they got hit at practice together. Our hypothesis is that we do not have enough conclusive evidence to make a conviction and or call it murder.
Our next steps is that we need to determine if we believe that there is a killer or if it is an accident, and the way that we think would be the best way to do this is to further question the suspects and get maybe more definitive answers out of them. And that is all the information we have on the Ana Garcia case today.